Okay, everyone, let's move to Big Idea 3. So you had a choice to watch the Python lectures before this or just get straight into Big Idea 3 from Big Idea 2. If you watched the Python lecture, all of the Python lectures before this, then yeah, that would make this a lot easier. So you can kind of tell like what these are. So especially the beginning, a few modules will feel very easy. Okay, but there are some key differences between the major coding languages and the language that's going to appear on the MCQ part of the exam. So we need to pay attention to those, especially with lists. Sometimes there's a big difference with the indexing. So let's get right into 3.1, variables and assignments. So variable is an abstraction inside a program that can hold a value, okay? Because the value it holds can vary throughout the execution of the program. It serves as a placeholder for information that we may not know yet or that needs to be updated, like a score in a game. So imagine a variable like a physical box. A variable is going to be a little bit different from the math variable. So it would be unknown values. But here, think of a variable as a container that will hold certain values. And if we want to switch out the values inside the container, yeah, we can switch it out too, right? So the name of the variable would be the label written outside of the box, so what container is it, and the value would be the contents that go inside the box, okay? So you can take the value out to look at it or replace it with a new value. If you replace it, the old value is just simply thrown away and discarded into memory. All right, and the convention, the normal, usual way, so would be to be as descriptive as possible of what the variable is going to be. So they should communicate what the variable represents. So current score, username, level identifier. So these would clearly show you what kind of value that variable container is going to be holding, right? So using poor names like X, N, things, stuff. So these wouldn't be appropriate variable names. So in APCSP MCQ exam, a variable can hold different types of data, including numbers, booleans, and strings. So if this was Java, it would be just simple, the primitive type values that are covered in, well, the basic primitive types. So numbers, booleans, and strings. And a variable is not permanently tied to one type here. Okay, you could store a number in X and then later change it to a string. Okay. Although you wouldn't really want to do that, like if you create a variable, then it should continue to hold that specific type of the variable throughout. So this is what you get on the MCQ exam. So you'll get two different types of formatting, okay? So one would be text code and one would be block code. But if you kind of take a look at it, it's just simply the difference is text code is put inside different blocks according to the chunk of the code that it belongs to, okay? And each statement will individually be in one box, okay? So the assignment operator here too, like if you've in just regular coding, it's usually the equal sign. There are some languages out there like R for statistical analysis that uses the arrow to assign values. And yeah, that's what the APCSP exam is going to use. So just don't get confused when you see the arrow, okay? So that would be the case for both text code and block code. And yeah, and this would be assign the value 0 to the variable named score. So when this happens, you know, inside the computer's memory, a box will be created and this value 0, it will be labeled with the variable named score, and we're going to put inside the value 0, okay? All right, so assignment always flows from right to left. Okay, so the expression on the right will be evaluated first, and the result is placed into the variable on the left. If it's just, without the assignment, just regular expressions, okay, it just follows regular order. Okay, but after all the expression gets evaluated, then it gets assigned to the value. So just think of it this way: the assignment okay? And think of it as another operation. So that assignment will happen after everything to its right is evaluated. So I mean that makes sense, right? If we have a long expression here, we need that expression to be resolved into a single value for us to save that to the variable, right? So yeah. So after this, val will contain the value 7. And overriding values, so when you assign a value to a variable that already has one, the old value will be lost. It's discarded into memory. So after line 1, so a equals 10 in both text code and block code, a will be 10. And then when we do this, it's reassignment, okay? So we are reassigning the value to the a variable. So the 10 would be replaced with 20, and the old 10 is just discarded, and it gets lost in the memory. So yeah, and a common pattern is so when we are updating the value of a variable, it's very common to use the variable in the expression, okay? What it's doing is, think of that as the current initial value saved in count. So we said we're going to do everything on the right first and then do the assignment, right? So we haven't updated it yet. So here on the right, we use the current value saved in the initial value saved in count, okay? We increment it by 1, and then with the result, we save that to the count variable. So again, that's why, although this looks basic, we need to think about the order of the operations being done here, okay? Okay, so retrieve the value of count, add 1, store the result back to count. So that's the process. All right, and again, in programming, like I said, the arrow, you can think of that as an equal sign, but still, it's going to be different from the mathematical equal sign. So math class, the equal sign, so x equals x plus 1, is impossible because that would evaluate to a false statement, right? 0 equals 1. So it's impossible, but in computer science, that is okay. That you need to do that, and it's okay because, again, it's not comparison, it's an assignment operator, okay? So the assignment operator is an action. The equal sign is a statement of fact, so equality. So do not confuse the two, especially also in like Python or Java, okay? When we're using the single equal sign, remember that that's assignment operator. So do not get these confused. All right, so a lot of the times, although it's going to be slightly more complex than this, but on the MCQ, you'll be asked to trace the values of the variable. So x, you start from 5, so x equals 5, and then y equals 10. And then here, we're reassigning the value here to x. What are we saving to x? The value in y. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that value saved in 10, okay? And then we're just going to copy that variable and then save it to x. So x gets updated to 10, okay? So x and y will be both 10 at the end, okay? And then something like this. You just go down in order, in sequence. So a equals 10, and then b equals 5, okay? And then a gets updated to the initial values of a plus b. So a becomes 15. This gets discarded, okay? And now b will use the updated value of a, okay? Because a was updated here. So here in a is not 10. A is 15, okay? So we're going down in order. So we always have to use the updated values as we go down the code. So that will be, so a will be 15. So that means b will be 15 minus 5. So it will be 10, okay? All right, and there's something called the swap algorithm. So when we're trying to change the value saved in both variables. So if you do it this way, it's actually incorrect. It won't work because, again, because of that sequencing, we'll be using updated values. So if a equals 1 and b equals 2, okay, so let's see what happens. A equals b. So a becomes 2. And then b equals a. So that means b becomes 2. okay? Because that's what A is right now when we get to the second line, okay? So what we usually do with this is we use something called a temporary variable. Again, sometimes you might, as beginners, you get confused. Wait, do we must use those names? No, you're free to use whatever value you want to use. With that temp, you can just use X, right? But like I said, the convention is that we use a straightforward name. So temp variable, that tells us that it's a temporary variable that will temporarily hold a value. Okay, so if we take a look at this, so what happens? So let's say A equals 1. Okay, so let me rewrite that. A equals 1, and then let's say B equals 2. So what happens is, in the beginning, we're going to save the value same as A, so 1 here, okay? And then we do A equals B. A becomes 2, and then B becomes 1, because we're going to save this to B. So this correctly swaps the value saved in two variables. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's trace this. What is the final value of num? So we start num with 5, okay? We're going to update it to num plus 5. So we're going to use the initial value saved in num here, so it'll be 5 plus 5, right? So num becomes 10, okay? And then we're going to add 5 to the updated value, so it becomes 15, okay? So make sure, because always you get asked to trace the values on the exam, so you need to be able to use the updated value. So just write down what happens in each step, and you it's hard to make a mistake if you do, okay? So here, the summary. So variables, they're named containers that store integers, strings, or booleans. In the assignment operator, it evaluates the expression on the right first. It stores a result in the variable on the left. And then assigning a new value destroys the old one immediately. And when we have those expressions, update expressions, then on each line, we need to use the updated value where the initial values go. Okay? And the patterns, use a temporary variable when swapping values to avoid data loss. Okay? So yeah, guys, that was the first thing. So you guys need to familiarize yourself with how the codes are formatted for the MCQ part of the exam. Yes, because there are so many languages out there. College Board kind of combined all of that to just one very simple language, which kind of contains, elements from this language, from that language. So if you've already watched the Python or Java videos before this, then that's all you need to kind of pay attention to. The concept itself is kind of repetitive, so just pay attention to those, and the things that I point out that will be on the exam. So yeah, I know it may get repetitive, but I still recommend that you watch through the whole thing, because yeah, there are some key differences between those languages and the language used on the MCQ. Okay, but anyways, guys, let's continue on. There are a lot of modules in this in Big Idea 3, so we have a long way to go. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.